everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. I did JMA Friday for today's second video. So, as also on Friday, we're having a look at the weather for the month ahead with the Japanese CFS tomorrows. And I shall get time back for you in a moment. Just say that first video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. Got 10 to 14 day coming up for you later on. And at 7 PM, or around 7 PM, we'll have the ECM WF42 day look out for the UK and Ireland as well. Pub Run Live is scheduled for 10:30. I'll let everybody know on the socials this evening whether we do that or not. Nothing 100%, so may not do Pub Run Live tonight this week. I'll let everybody know though a little bit later on. Right, going to start off with me. Thanks so much everyone for tuning in on this Friday. Hope you're doing okay. Hope everyone's safe and well with Storm Aowen. We'll talk about that in 10 to 14 day ago. Right, okay, let's start off with the 500 millibar height anomaly from the Arctic and the North Pole view down. So there's the North Pole just there, roughly, Arctic Circle around there, and then mid-latitudes are through there. So blue is extrapolating to below average height, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange, and red to above average height, which is high pressure. Means we're breaking down into weekly periods. The first week period will take us from today, the 24th, through to the 31st of January. But next week looking very unsettled, with deep low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic. So plenty of stormy winds and heavy rain to come. Week 2 will be the 31st. Sorry, everyone, the 31st of January, 7th of February, lots of low pressure again in the Atlantic, so first week of February also continuing with the unsettled theme. But a change for weeks 3 and 4, and if you want a bit of winter before the end of mid-tropical winter, this was quite interesting. It's the 7th to the 21st of February with a strong signal for a Scandinavian high to be developing and potentially winds coming in from an easterly direction. Obviously, that could be quite a cold scenario. The Scandinavian high to be truly perfect, probably going to be a little bit further north of its centre, somewhere around there. And then that really pulls in that long fetch easterly from the Urals. But as is, I think it will be colder anyway, and probably a return of frost and fog, if not much in the way of snow. So quite an interesting week 3 and 4 anomaly there from the JMA. Right, let's have a look at the tropical and the mid-latitude view. So we can't see Greenland, Iceland, Scandinavia, all those areas of the chart, PA, UK and Ireland in the top right-hand corner of the chart as you're looking at it. Reminder of a week 1, 500 millibar height anomaly from the 21st to the 31st, 24th to the 31st of January, today to the last day of the month. Low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic next week, looking very unsettled, slightly milder than average, especially so for England and Wales there, and a wetter than average week to come, as you would expect, given the deep low pressure coming in from the Atlantic. Also will be windy and stormy at times. Week 2 is the 31st of January, 7th of February, low pressure again in the Atlantic, bringing in that Atlantic flow. Temperature anomalies, if anything, are a little bit milder in the whole country, the yellow shaded colours. That's a mild first start of February, and it's still wetter than normal as well. So we've got a wet couple of weeks to come there. Weeks 3 and 4, then building higher pressure over to the east. Could that start to bring the wind in from an easterly direction? The model is actually going for above average temperature. A bit dubious about that, to be honest, given the proximity of the high pressure. I reckon that would deliver colder conditions, even if the model doesn't recognise it at this stage. And as far as precipitation is concerned, it's still a bit wetter than average for Scotland and Ireland, actually. Dry frequent weather, but it's a 2-week anomaly, so it could be something like still quite unsettled, relatively mild for week 3, and then the high pressure takes over into week 4, turns it drier and colder. Something like that could be at play there. You never quite know in a 2-weekly anomaly. Right, let's have a look at CFS, see how that compares with JMA. So these are 500 millibar high toms again, broken down into week periods. The first week period taking from the 24th to the 30th of January, but next week looking very unsettled with deep low pressure in from off the Atlantic. It's obviously good agreement for the first week. Week 2 is the 31st of January, 6th of February. Much more in the way of high pressure to the south in this week from the CFS, low pressure away to the north, along with the jet stream as well. That's a more settled first week to February, definitely, compared to what JMA is showing. So they're disagreeing as early as week 2. Week 3 will be the 7th to the 13th of February. High pressure then right in over top of coast. It could be mostly dry. So mild breeze built up from the south might deliver a bit of frost and fog, something like that. And then we go through the week 4, which is the 14th to the 20th of February, with low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic again. So definitely no hint of a Scandinavian high from CFS. Very different CFS and JMA runs today after week 1. Temperature anomalies show me CFS for week 1. Just a little bit above average, not as mild as the JMA is showing perhaps. And much of America still plunged into the freezer there. But a warm-up for America actually taking place into week 2. Which would be 31st January to 6th February. Meanwhile, talking of warm-ups, we are turning very mild then in that week. Exceptionally mild start to February, potentially. Week 3 is not quite as mild, but still above average temperatures. Hit the 7th to 13th of February. And then week 4 is the 14th to the 20th of February, and that one also looking milder than average. So a very mild February on the way if the CFS is right here. And then finally precipitation. So week 1, 24th to 30th of January, significantly wetter than normal. And week 2, which is the 31st of January to 6th of February, also wetter than average for northern areas anyway. Week 3 is the 7th to the 13th of February, a bit drier than average down to the south, wetter than average way to the northwest. And then finally, week 4 is the 14th to 20th of February, and it looks rather on the wet side, especially so for the north. So, very different JMA and CFS runs today. And out of the two, I would say if you want some cold weather to come back in the second half of February, the JMA is definitely one to root for. But CFS is not interested in that at all. Well, we shall see how things play out. Remember, just a snapshot of what both of the models are showing. They could look completely different when we look at them again next week, JMA Friday next week. You'll find out this evening, not going to wait till tomorrow, like normal. This evening, you'll find out around 7ish what the ECM WF42 data is saying about all of this. So that's to come later on. Between now and then, we've got your 10 to 14 data. So check back for that quite shortly. And for JMA Friday for this week, though, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.